Rusty Pugh. New York Republican gubernatorial candidate and current Congressman Lee Zeldin was attacked while giving a speech outside Rochester, New York, Thursday. Joe Chinelli is a GOP New York State Assembly candidate who was at the speech when the attack happened and explains how he feels about the attacker being released soon after the attack.
Mixed emotions here, but primarily enraged, but also concerned. It was clear, spent some time with this gentleman on the ground last night, and he was not in a good place.
The White House announced Thursday a $37 billion crime and policing proposal named the Safer America Plan. Republican Texas Representative Michael Cloud told Fox News he rejects Biden's ideas about criminal justice.
He's got sinking poll numbers, and the American community, he's realizing, is not behind this, what's going on in their communities. But the other thing really is this is the ultimate goal of the defund the police movement. The goal of the defund the police movement isn't to get rid of police. It's to be able to nationalize the police.
President Joe Biden stopped short this week of declaring an emergency over so-called climate change. But critics are not ruling that out in the coming weeks. Chris Woodward has more.
Speaking on the Washington Watch radio program, Dr. Cal Beisner of the Cornwall Alliance said if President Biden initiates a number of executive orders, and he has no doubt that he will, we're going to see simply a multiplication of court cases challenging those orders as not authorized by any legislation put forth by Congress.
He will, of course, claim an emergency, but the emergency claim itself will be tested in the courts. So this is going to do a lot of good for lawyers' income and no good for the climate, no good for the American people.
Speaking Wednesday outside a former coal-fired power plant in Massachusetts, Biden said something must be done to combat extreme weather events that Biden believes are caused by man's use of fossil fuels.
As president, I'll use my executive powers to combat the climate crisis in the absence of congressional action.
This, again, is why Beisner believes there will be legal disputes.
He seems to think, if his track record is any indicator, that he has unlimited authority to do anything he wants simply by proclaiming that something is an emergency. That's not our Constitution. He is not our emperor. He is not our tyrant. He is not, though he seems to think that he can rule as a tyrant, he's not our dictator. He is our president, elected by the people to execute the laws passed by the Congress. He has no authority to do anything else other than national defense.
I'm Chris Woodward.
A conservative political pundit says a majority of voters in Michigan seem to be happy with living in a nanny state.
The August 2nd Republican gubernatorial primary is less than 2 weeks away, and 5 candidates are vying for the right to take on incumbent Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who imposed some of the most draconian COVID-19 measures in the country. But according to polls compiled by Real Clear Politics, Whitmer leads by double digits in head-to-head matchups against 3 potential GOP adversaries, including frontrunner Tudor Dixon. Rob Chambers is vice president of AFA Action, the political arm of the American Family Association.
These people are totally committed to the Democratic platform that's really in the destruction of this country. Some of these states have a larger demographic that really have a higher degree of support for Biden's destroy so you can build back better.
Chambers says there are large segments of the electorate in states like Michigan who love cradle-to-grave government dependence.
The state is to be their nanny over everything. The nanny tells you when to wear a mask. The nanny tells you when you can take your mask off. The nanny tells you that $5 a gallon gasoline is good for the economy. So these people are buying into a radical agenda, even if it's going to cost them their pocketbook. They're going to vote for Whitmer.
I'm Chad Groening.
Shares are mostly higher in Europe and Asia after another day of gains on Wall Street. U.S. futures edged lower, and oil prices also declined. More news online at afn.net and on the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Pugh.